I'm gonna let the video upload right quick. All right, so we're in here. This is Trump and the G, of course, and this is Michael Rapaport warns Colombia protesters about a Trump presidency. So Michael Rapaport is a well-known actor. Hated was really in the '90s. Now he's online, and he's one of these guys who was a lifelong Democrat who was now supporting Donald Trump for president. He's sort of frustrated with the Democrats and Biden. Not that he's all in on Trump, but he thinks that Trump is going to get reelected. He still thinks he has some negative comments about Trump personally, but he still thinks Trump's going to get reelected. And he's supporting a Trump presidency because he wants the country to progress. He wants the economy to improve, and he wants safety for the U.S. And he thinks Trump is the best person to do that. As people also know that there are demonstrations up at Columbia University right now over the past few weeks, as they've called for a ceasefire in Gaza. The students are calling for a divestment of Columbia's resources from Harlem and from the military-industrial complex that they deem funding weapons that are used in Gaza, and also a divestment from Israel. And the protests have escalated over the past couple of days. A few days ago, 100 students were arrested by the NYPD. And now, some politicians and some activists are calling for the National Guard to be called in to protect Jewish students who feel unsafe. 30 city council members and politicians in New York are calling for the removal of the president of Colombia because she's not doing a job. So Michael Rapaport basically warned the Colombian protesters about a Trump presidency. Here's what he had to say.
You know it's going to be great when Dick Stain, Donald Trump gets elected, and I ain't saying I'm voting for him, but when he does win, and he's going to win, the screaming and yelling that you fucking pussy ass, blowjob, miserable motherfuckers on college campuses are doing now, the screaming that you're doing at Jews about free Palestine, the screaming that you're doing at Zionists is going to be nothing compared to the screaming you're going to be doing come November when Dick Stain Donald Trump wins presidency because of you. Because of you. And historically, Google me. You know how I feel about Dick Stain Donald Trump. But it'll be worth the screaming, the crying, and the yelling. I can't wait to see those fucking protests come November when Dick Stain Donald Trump wins because of you fucking little blowjobs.
Well, he does this sort of cryptic sort of laugh at the end of the video, like he's the Joker from Batman, but he doesn't really say specifically how the protesters in Colombia are going to get Trump elected. He doesn't really say. I guess he's implying that optically it doesn't look good for the country, and that it could turn the tide for President Trump during the November elections, and it could hurt sentiment for current President Joe Biden. But Trump is on record that he's pro-Israel. He thinks Israel should be protected in the Middle East, and that Israel is a key ally of the U.S. in the Middle East, and we want a foothold in that region. And Israel is a key ally, and we're going to protect Israel. And we're going to continue to fund Israel when he becomes president. So he's on record of where his stance is on Israel and where his stance is on the Middle East. But he wants peace in the Middle East, and he wants all sides to be heard, but he definitely is going to be a staunch supporter of Israel and is going to continue to fund Israel and help Israel protect itself from threats in the Middle East. So, that said, I expect him to, if he gets reelected, I expect him to crack down on these protests around college campuses. People are allowed to protest peacefully, but I expect him to crack down on any sort of rhetoric that could be deemed unsafe for Jewish students. And I expect him to have a show of force, whether it's by the police or the National Guard. So that's Trump and the G, and we'll see what happens, and we'll try to track more goings on with Michael Rapaport. So thank you for listening. Thank you.